Mr. Westmoreland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You're the Associate Director of Supervision and Enforcement, correct?
That's correct.
Do your enforcement officers carry firearms?
No, they don't, sir.
So they do not carry firearms?
No.
Do they wear uniforms?
No, sir.
Okay. Do the PII, do the individuals know that you're storing their data?
To the extent information is coming in through our consumer response channel, there is a privacy notice for them, and I would say yes, they know that we're storing their information. If it is coming through the examination process, then not necessarily.
How many questions do you ask these folks if they call in with a problem?
We're basically trying to ask the minimum questions that will allow us to remedy the situation if, in fact, there has been a violation of consumer law.
And so then you tell them you're storing their information for later use?
I'm sorry, sir?
You're getting this information and they know you're getting it to store the data? That's
correct.
So you tell them,
yes,
we're storing your data?
There is a notice that indicates that.
How many people have access to this?
It's limited to those that are responding directly to the complaints, as well as some other folks in the Bureau that...
well, I know that, but how many people is that?
I'd have to get back to you with a precise number.
You don't know?
I don't know the precise number. It would depend on, you know, it's...
Would the director know the precise number? I mean, who would know the number?
I mean, we could provide that information to you. I just don't know it off the top of my hand. It
Sure.
really is, it is focused on a need-to-know basis for those that either are directly responding to the complaint.
Well, I think it's pretty unusual that you wouldn't know how many people had access to this, but what type of security clearance do these CFPB employees have that have access to this information?
Yeah, they all go through significant background checks as well. I think we have the security clearance that is akin to agencies of our level.
I mean, what kind of security clearance is it?
It's not top secret clearance.
Okay, so they've got information to all these personal names, social security numbers, addresses, birth dates, and whatever, and they don't have any type of level security clearance?
So we do attempt affirmatively to limit the PII that we need.
Do you do it yourself?
Do I do it myself?
No. Does the CFPB do it within its own agency?
We attempt through our consumer response portal to limit the type of PII we collect just enough to be able to go back to the company so that they can actually identify the account and the complainant and verify that, in fact, it's an actual complainant. The security background checks that everyone have to go through are exhaustive and extensive, and we have certain policies and procedures in place as well that would...
Who does the background checks is what I guess what I want you to answer.
So we go through the Office of Personnel Management, and they use their sources that they do for personnel background checks.
So you really don't know who does the background check?
Well, the degree of, I think, background checks depends on their rank and the positions of the...
So you don't know how many people have access to these files, and you don't know what type of background check they've had?
I know they have substantial background checks. I know the number of people are significantly limited to those that work in our consumer response area and those that work in our supervision.
But you don't know the number.
Areas. I can provide you with the number. I don't know the number off.
Okay, let's say one of my constituents calls you up and says, can I see my data? Can I see my file that you have on me? First of all, do you have a file on me? And if the answer would be yes, can they request the information that you have?
The only information that we would have would be the information that they have provided us.
No. You're getting information from these outside groups, the banks. So can you give them that?
The information that we would have on a consumer that came in through our consumer response portal would be the information they provided us, and then we would have a summary.
I'm talking about the PII.
So we're not collecting PII for consumers that respond to our consumer response channel.
Well, no, but you
do provide to us already.
You do have this personal identification information, right?
If they have provided it to us.
So if they find out that you have stored this and they don't realize it or don't remember it, can they ask to opt out?
They are affirmatively reaching out to us and voluntarily providing us this information. There is a privacy notice which is provided to them at the moment that they're filling out that information.
Well, I look forward to some of these answers that you've said you're going to respond to from these questions. And, you know, I appreciate you coming, appreciate your service, but I find it really hard to believe that you didn't realize some of the questions you were going to be asked today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Westmoreland. That concludes our first round.